It reminded me of goodbyes. Of silence. Of memories I thought I buried. But that night, in Madrid, the rain wasn't just water falling from the sky, it was a beginning I didn't expect. The downpour had caught me halfway through the plaza. Shoes soaked, hair clinging to my face, mascara probably smudged to hell. I rushed into the first café I saw, small, warm, the smell of cinnamon and espresso in the air. And then, him. Sitting by the foggy window, a book in one hand, coffee in the other. His eyes met mine like a question. Not curious, inviting. He raised his brows slightly, then nodded toward the seat across from him. I could have said no. Should have. But something in his gaze made my chest tighten. I sat. We didn't speak at first. Just listened to the storm outside, the hum of the espresso machine, the soft jazz playing overhead. Finally, he said, "You look like you're running from something." I laughed. A few things. The rain. A memory. Maybe myself. He smirked. You can sit here a while. I'm not running. His name was Elias. Spanish-born, lived in Berlin, back in Madrid for a wedding he didn't want to attend. I told him I was an artist, heartbroken and on a solo trip that was supposed to heal me. Spoiler, it hadn't. We talked for hours. About favorite cities. About love. About the difference between being touched and being felt. And then the cafe closed. We stood outside under the awning, watching the rain soften into a lazy drizzle. I don't want this to end yet, he said. Then it doesn't have to, I replied. He lived 3 blocks away. We walked in silence, shoulders almost touching, our hands brushing occasionally like our bodies were testing fate. Inside his apartment, it was warm. Dim lights. Wooden floors. Art on the walls that told me he saw the world in colors and pain. He offered tea. I said no. I didn't want tea. He stepped closer. Slowly. One hand cupped my cheek, the other rested on my hip, barely touching. Like he was asking permission without words. I nodded. And then his lips were on mine. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't clumsy. It was slow. Deep. Like every kiss was pulling something out of me I didn't know I had left. He lifted me gently, my legs wrapping around his waist like instinct. My back met the wall, my hands tangled in his hair. His breath was warm on my neck, his voice a low whisper I couldn't even understand, but felt everywhere. We moved to his room, shedding clothes like layers of old grief. There were no expectations. No labels. Just heat, skin, breath. His touch was careful, but hungry. He kissed me like he had waited years for it. And I let go, of the heartbreak, the fear, the silence I carried in my chest for too long. I let him see me, and for the first time in forever, I didn't feel ashamed. We didn't sleep much. When morning came, I woke to soft sunlight painting gold across his chest, his arm around me like I belonged there. I watched him breathe. Memorized the rise and fall of his body. And smiled. Maybe it was just one night. Maybe we were just 2 strangers who needed each other at the exact right moment. But that night? It reminded me that desire isn't dirty. That healing can happen in whispers and fingertips. That sometimes, when you least expect it, the rain brings you back to life.